Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is my new podcast, Real Talk with Lizzie, where we're going to be covering every topic. This is just a bonus episode. This is actually part 3 of this bonus episode because, I have so much evidence on my phone and I have to wait until I get my Social Security to be able to pay for extra storage. But I refuse to delete my evidence. I have proof of everything, and I'm not deleting it. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That shit's all backed up, every which way possible. So back to what we were talking about, so I can go into reading the books I wrote. I'm actually still writing the second book, which is about the domestic violence shit I went through and the corruption. I'm not done writing. I'm going to read you what I wrote there, but I'm done with the short autobiography that I wrote about some of the shit I've been through when I was a child and an adolescent and how it shaped my life. But anyway, so February 5th, 2021, 5 days before this case is supposed to be closed that was open in December. Mind you, keep in mind, the domestic violence incident where my ex-husband tried to kill me was in November. And also keep in mind when my son Levi was a newborn, which was 3.5 years prior to this whole shit. When my ex-husband busted a glass cupboard door while I was, mind you, keep in mind, my daughter was 6.5. Used to always loved her high-top Jordans. She spent a weekend at my mom's house. We were living 4 trailers up from his parents, but across the fields from my parents. And my daughter spent the weekend with my parents. She brought a handbag of toys and a handbag of clothes. She knew my room because I had very light colored carpets. But there was a little tile, and when you first walk in the door, that's where I wanted her shoes taken off. So she was following the house rules. She put her bags down, sat down on the floor so she's short. She was 6.5 and she was short. And she was tiny. She sat down so she could freaking untie her freaking high tops and take them off. But apparently he was sitting on the couch feeding my newborn. We had his other 2 kids. Mind you, keep in mind, my son Bubba, he had a fast turnaround, thank God, when he ended up going to the in-school speech or whatever, special education, preschool program. They said that he was the fastest turnaround in that county. But now he's high on the spectrum. He's very smart. But my son Bubba, keep in mind, at this point was not walking. My sons are a year and 2 weeks apart. Levi was a newborn. He was only literally 6 weeks old. I had my daughter, which was 6.5. I had his daughter, which was 5 months younger than my daughter, 6.5. I had his son, which is a year older than my daughter, 7.5. I had my son, Bubba, who was a fucking year old. He was like 13 months old, which could not walk. Oh, keep in motherfucking mind, okay? I'm standing trying to cook. Mind you, kitty corner, the way that my trailer was set up, there was an island where the stove was. The stove was in the middle. The glass cupboards were here. Our table was here. The couch was here. The living room was connected to the kitchen. It was so weird. And there was the back door. Our bedroom was off the kitchen, and their back door was right there. It was fucking weird. And then there was a hallway where the other bathroom was, and it was screwy. But anyhow, so my daughter was following house rules. Psychopath. This is before he was diagnosed with bipolar and supposed to be taking fucking psycho meds, okay? Psychopath. They were living 4 trailers up from his lovely, evil stepmother, Karen the fat cunt, okay? And as we go on, you'll know why she's a fat cunt. But you got proof why she's a fat cunt. So, sorry guys, this is really hard to talk about, but I need to get it out because it's gonna help some. I know it's once it reaches the people it needs to reach, it's gonna help some of you. So I need to. But I struggle with it because my kid should have never. I don't give a fuck about me. I'm used to people hurting me. I'm used to people trying to tear me down. I'm used to this shit. Okay? I mean, I shouldn't be used to it. It sucks, but I'm fucking used to it. But my babies should have never had to go through this kind of trauma, especially from their own fucking family. But anyway, so back to the incident. My daughter, apparently psychopath over here. He's feeding our newborn 6-week-old son. Keep in mind, Bubba is on the floor trying to crawl. He can't walk yet. I'm cooking lunch for the older kids, Bubba and the older kids, the 3 older kids. My daughter's trying to untie her shoes. Mind you, she was just learning. She's 6.5 years old. And because her shoelaces would easily untie. And the trailer, the lot we lived in, it was a mud fucking hole. Wintertime, summertime, it was a fucking mud hole. I didn't want my daughter's white shoelaces ruined, so I always would double knot them. Or I'd have my mom double knot them. So it was hard for my child to get her fucking shoes off. Impatient psychopath over here proceeds to tell her, my 6.5-year-old, if you don't hurry up and take off your, go take care of your fucking bags. Here's the exact words to her. If you don't go hurry up and take care of your fucking bags, I'm gonna throw them out back in the snowbank. Keep in mind, out back, we never used the back door during the winter because it was 6 feet of fucking snow back there. Okay. I told him, no the fuck you're not. You're not throwing my daughter's shit out the back door. She's untying her shoes like she's supposed to. She's trying to take off her shoes. That is a house rule. He proceeded to tell me to mind my motherfucking business, that he was the boss and he could do what the fuck he wanted. I said, until you pay a fucking bill in my house, you're not the fucking boss. I said, second of all, that's my child. There is rugs. She is to take her shoes off. Then she can take care of the stuff. I agree she needs to take care of the stuff, but she is taking off her shoes. Stop being impatient. It had only been not even 2 minutes at this point. Fucking psycho. Okay? What does psycho do? Stops feeding our newborn son, leaves him unattended on the motherfucking couch, throws the bottle, it hits my newborn son on the head. So I hurry up and turn the fucking stove off because I'm in the middle of cooking mac and cheese and hot dogs for the other fucking kids for lunch. I hurry up and turn the shit off. Go grab my fucking son. I'm holding him in my left arm like this. I'm cradling him. I'm trying to hold him and feed him with one hand. Also trying to stop my ex-husband from fucking throwing my daughter's shit out the back door. Mind you, the cubbyhole where the back door was on the other side of the, just on the other side is where we had a bank of glass cupboards, okay? I'm just under the corner of the one glass cupboard because I was trying to reach and stop him from throwing the, things as I was trying to feed my son and keep my son safe from him falling. Okay, I didn't want him falling. I wanted to make sure he didn't starve. He didn't need to starve over this situation. So I'm still trying to be a mom and like dealing with multiple situations going on at once over here. So as I'm doing that shit, he proceeds to be an even worse psychopath. Decides to punch the fucking cupboard. He said, oh yeah? He goes, keep it up and I'll fucking end up punching the fucking glass cupboard. I said, don't you fucking dare. So what's the fucking psychopath do? Punches it right above mine and my son's head. I did what any normal fucking mother I would do. I mean, there's some psycho mothers out there, some really delusional people out there, but I'm a normal mother. I shielded my son. I took glass in my eye. What does this idiot do? Runs 4 trailers up to his evil stepmother's house, Karen Dumont, and his dad, Mark Dumont Sr.'s house, running his evil fucking mouth. Lying, clearly. Whatever the fuck he said it to this day, I still don't fucking know, and I don't give a fuck, because it's a lie. His dad came running down to my motherfucking house. Keep in mind, I have 5 children in my house. His 2 children by his ex, which were at my house for fucking 10 days. And my 2 sons by him and my daughter. So there's 5 fucking kids under 7.5 in my fucking house. All of a sudden I hear these 2 psychopaths running their fucking mouth. And his dad saying, Liz, you better bring your ass outside or I'm coming in that house. No, the fuck, you're not coming in my house running your mouth with all these kids here. So I put my newborn son in the pack and play. It was just, it was right by the front door. I put him in the pack and play. I have the older kids keep an eye on Bubba. Keep in mind he can't walk yet anyway. But I have him keep in mind because he can still kind of crawl, but not full blown crawl. But he was learning how to do army crawling at the time. So I go out on the porch. This is the day, same day, where my ex-husband's dad, Mark Dumont Sr., threatened me. They waited, mind you, the trailer they used to live in. They could see who entered and left the trailer park, and trust me. My dad and everybody will tell you in that park that his dad, when they lived in that one trailer, they thought they were the fucking neighborhood watch. As soon as they see my dad leave that park, because they knew damn well that wouldn't have went down if my dad was there. As soon as they see my dad leave that fucking park, they came flying down. Told me This is when he told me if I ever had his son arrested or ever tried leaving his son, that he would make sure I never saw my kids again, and I would make my life a living hell, and I would never live a life of happiness. That I would never be able to hold a job. That I would never be able to feel at peace. That I would never be able to have true love. That I would never be able to make my dreams possible. He said that he would make sure he ruined my life for good, and that I didn't know the power that he truly held, both not only in that county and in the fucking state of New York. All the way up to Congress, actually, if you want to technical up to the government. Why do you think I'm sitting here saying fuck the government? Okay? Fuck the government. Because they're fucking corrupt. They don't give a fuck about the people. They did? There'd be less fucking people protecting abusers, and not just women abusers and men abusers, child abusers and pedophiles. They get away with it. Okay, but anyway, before my iPad dies and this decides it wants to be retarded, I need to get into Microsoft Word. I'll get more into the case as we go along and we get into episodes of corruption, because I can't talk about this case anymore. It's getting, I'll read some of it. You'll hear some of it in the thing though. Ooh. This is chapter 1. Hello, I wrote this when I was 38. So this is actually a few years ago. Hello, my name is Elizabeth. I'm going to be 38 in September. I was born September 4th, 1984 in a town named Syracuse, New York. I was blamed for me being born and things that my bio dad put my mom through when I was a baby. My mom drank up till I was 7. Her and my bio dad split when I was 4. I was molested at 4 by my bio dad and a little boy at school. At 5, I was molested by someone who was my godbrother that was 2 years older. At 7, my mom's boyfriend at the time molested me and tried making me do something to him that no child should ever be made to do. My mom and sister got home and walked in on it. Those are some very horrible years of my childhood. I started being bullied in school in the 4th grade. Getting called names, being made fun of because of my last name. Having to wear glasses. That's why, to this day, I only wear them sometimes. Names I used to be called: Lizzie the Leslie, Lizzie the Lizard, and the list goes on and on. I used to go home and cry myself to sleep. No one to listen, no one to care. My mom always seemed to act like my sisters were more important because they didn't have the type of issues that I had because of my childhood. Thus far had been a nightmare. Are you listening? Thus far had been a nightmare. At least this is the way I was made to feel. I was always told I wouldn't amount to anything. I was the problem. I didn't matter. Things were my fault, etc. by a lot of people in my life, or just plain out ignored like I didn't matter. So finally at 10 years old, I tried to kill myself in school. At that point, I had enough of the constant nightmares, the constant feelings in my head that I wasn't good enough to be loved. I felt like I was worthless and no one would ever be able to love me. So I decided at 10 years old that I was going to end it. I had enough of feeling alone. My mom and the guidance counselor lied to me, told me we were going for ice cream. Instead, I was thrown inside of a mental institution and made to feel like I didn't matter even more. My roommate at the time was living a living hell, literally. Every night she plugged up our toilet and would try to smother me in my sleep. She blamed me and she got me in trouble. For 48 hours, I was thrown inside a padded room with the door locked from the outside, made to sleep and stay in there. No visits or calls, nothing for those 48 hours. Only to come out to go to the bathroom. So they caught her starting the fires in our room and plugging up the toilet, flooding it. But I went through that trauma in a place I should have felt safe in. A place I felt I was abandoned and thrown away because I was no good. I was stuck there for 3 weeks. My mom rarely visited me or called me, and when they called her and said they thought I was ready, she wasn't ready for me to come home. So I was stuck in there an extra week. We constantly moved when I was younger. When I was 12, almost 13, I went to what I thought was a friend's house to stay the night. Me and my supposed friend had a school dance. Her older sister, after we got home, asked me to walk her to the end of the road, which was a back road, to bring her friend home. As we started to walk back, a car started approaching, and dead stopped. She went up and got in the car and screamed for me to come and get in the car. I told her no. At which point, 2 big guys came chasing me down the street and threw me in the car. I was drugged with a gun to my head. I don't remember the whole ordeal. I only know some of the details that were told to the detective by the girl involved. She saw me get raped and trying to flip out of the car window, and I almost fell in a creek. She let the guy still take me with him. I was in and out. I remember Kirkville Road, exit 5W. Then nothing until I woke up the next day, with him on top of me. Me freaking out, asking where Bonnie was. The whole ordeal caused me to get in a fight with the supposed friend in school. She wanted to fight me because her sister got locked up. Apparently she was on parole, was still talking to these grown men and refused to give the contact info, so they arrested her. This is not the only instance with betrayal from supposed to be friends. I've had betrayal in every aspect of my life, throughout my life. Started living with my grandma off and on since I was 10. She was the one person in my life that I could literally count on to love me unconditionally, no matter what. My youngest sister, that is 4 years and 11 days younger than me, would always swear on my mom's life and lie to purposely get me in trouble and kicked out of the house. She would rub in my face how her and our other sister were closer, and I was the outcast of the family. The traumas when I was a child have stuck with me throughout my life because certain traumas as an adult have triggered my traumas from my childhood, and certain people from my life won't own up to their take in how I feel today. Now rewind a little. Finally, in junior high, I stopped taking people's crap and just started fighting back. Now, whether it was at school, at home, with my sisters, I fought back. When I started fighting back, then I was the problem all over again. It was never the person that pushed me to that point. So now we are at me being 15, almost 16. My first day out of what was supposed to be the start of high school. The ones that I had fought in junior high had all stood outside plotting and planning to jump me at lunchtime. So I walked in, grabbed my agenda and schedule, walked out, and went home. At that point, I had enough. Always being talked about, always having to watch my back, always having to fight. I was sick and tired of it. I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. I had already watched my grandmother go through a lot of surgeries by this point. Through everything, she was such a strong, loving, she was such a strong, caring human being. I have strived to be just like her. She was a remarkable woman. She always put love, kindness into the world, even if her life was not good. I started searching for love that I never felt besides the love I felt for my grandmother, and the sense of feeling like I matter to someone and a family I wish I had. There was other trials and tribulations through my childhood and adolescent years, but thus by far these are the traumas that have stuck with me. Chapter 2. At 18 years old, I voluntarily signed myself into the same place I had been when I was 10 and 14, impatient to seek help for myself. I only stayed 3 days. Then I got into a relationship right around the time I was going to Bryant and Stratton full-time and working full-time. I didn't know out of the 2 years we were together that he had been cheating on me. I ended up having a work-related injury, fought for 6 years to have the surgery, but the relationship went real bad once I was taken out of work. He quit working, he stole things from me, not just material things, he stole what little sense of self I had. He made me feel like I was worthless. He was a horrible human being. 6 months after getting out of that relationship, I ended up in my first DV relationship. He came from a bad childhood, where his mom abandoned him, his sister raised him, etc. When he wasn't drinking, he made me feel like I mattered. He made me feel like I was beautiful, like I meant something. But when he would drink, he would be a different person to the point he wouldn't even remember doing half the things he had done to me the night before. I went through getting punched in the face, called names, controlled to the point where I couldn't even have my own phone. But when he was sober, it wasn't as bad. I kept staying because all he wanted to feel was unconditional love like myself. He too felt the abandonment issues that I felt in my life. So I really wanted to help fix him and help him. I loved him so much that I lost myself trying to help him. He was the most loyal person I ever was with, during which time my mom was hospitalized with cancer. I was 21. House phone was on in my name. Out of respect for the person I called Dad, I took the phone call to the bathroom. He asked me how my mom was doing. I told him she was still in the ICU. We were going to see her at 5 a.m. My dad and sister flipped out. I was told I wasn't allowed to go see my mom in the hospital, or I would be escorted out. My mom got out of the hospital, and I tried calling her. I just started a new job. I was told if I called again, the number would be changed. She told my grandma if she gave me the number, she would disown her. She didn't talk to her own mom, for Christ's sakes, for 3 months because she gave me the number. All because of me being in that relationship. But yet my sisters had been in some really horrible relationships and never had to live homeless in their car and take sponge baths before and after work because they didn't like who they were dating. I was crying to my mom, telling her I was homeless because of my boyfriend at the time, sister, and she didn't care. It was like I didn't matter. Sleeping in the old Hess parking lot so I could be woken up for work. Having to be to work by 5 to 6 a.m. and working fast food. First week I was homeless at a hotel. Second week I was in my car. That was the worst feeling ever. But he was there trying to make sure I was okay till it was time for bed. So even though things were bad at times, he was also the only one there besides my grandma at that point in time. I tried so hard to please everyone in my life. I feel like just like the changing seasons is how people feel about me. The relationship was off and on at first for 4 years. We split up for a year. I turned to alcohol until the day I found out I was pregnant with my now almost 14-year-old daughter. I regret choices I made. I will own up to some choices I made were not right. I should never have had a kid with someone that was like a brother to him. That was wrong of me. But by the time I realized that it was a little too late, we got back together. My daughter's father only wanted to be there if he had a girlfriend. He that would take care of my daughter. So my ex did a lot with her when she was a baby. But when I went back to him when she was a baby, I told him, if you put your hands on me again, we are done. And I stuck to that. My daughter was 2.5. She was with my mom for the weekend. He hit me that final time while he was drinking. I never looked back again. I always felt bad feeling like I turned my back, but I had to. So I stayed single till my daughter was almost 5. And I got with my husband, who was also both of my son's fathers. He struggles with bipolar and stuff from his childhood that he witnessed his dad do to his mom, and then when he was younger. I always feel like I have to fix people. He has tried cheating on me during our marriage. There was one incident where he put his hands on me, and that was because I defended my child. But my child that is almost 14, I feel even she hates me to the point where she has made up things about me and clung to people that don't really truly care about her. I've tried to be there for her like I wish my mom was me. Even with all she has done to me, I'm still showing I care and fighting because I know the abandonment issues. And I always said I don't want my daughter to ever grow up feeling like I did. I feel like no one understands this feeling at all. I feel like I feel like I'm alone all over again. My Where are we here? All over again. My kids, which are the only reason I'm still breathing for, I am fighting. I'm fighting. Well, I'm sorry. My iPad smashed, so I'm trying to freaking read through it all. I'm still breathing. I am fighting to get back from my husband's family that have done everything could to me since day one. My one wish for my kids was to never feel like me, and not by no choice of my own. I've had to watch my sons go through torment, abandonment, being bullied by adults, etc. It breaks my heart and soul. Being an adult going through that as a kid, I understand, and it hurts my soul for my kids because I fight so hard to try and keep them safe. But the very system that is supposed to keep them safe and want them to be safe and loved is trying to keep them from that and keep them in the very situation that my husband grew up with his dad, all while fighting a corrupt system in a family that has severe mental health issues. Hold on, and keep them in a very situation that my husband grew up with his dad, all while fighting a corrupt system in a family that has severe mental health issues that penalize the victim. I also had a major car accident, which totaled my car. Then also had a major house fire. So some of the stuff going on is triggering my childhood and adulthood traumas back into play. Being forced to watch my kids go through this is almost as if they want me to keep reliving this and want my poor children to live it. I would never want anyone to ever feel like this. I no longer trust authority figures. They are even trying to pry into my personal therapy sessions to try and use against me. But the people hurting my kids are getting away with it. Chapter 3. This has helped my PTSD become unbearable at times. Watching my babies go through what they have has gotten to me. I try to report it to keep them safe, and I'm told I'm lying. I'm told it doesn't matter. How people that are supposed to keep kids safe are not really bothers me. Seeing kids on the news dying in that county because the same very system has failed them really freaking bothers me. There has been way more throughout my life and throughout this situation that has happened. But by far, these are the things that weigh on me. But trying to remain strong for my children because at the end of the day, they need their mama. They have me. I want everyone who reads this to see my struggles in life and see that I'm still pushing forward and that they can too. I want people going through a hard time in their life to realize that someone out there has had a hard life too. Someone cares. There is help out there. If you want someone to talk with you that won't judge you, I'm here for you. Send me an email, reach out at liz61016@gmail.com. I will respond back to you and make arrangements to talk to you outside of email. I want to help save as many people as I can. My life has been nothing but pain, misery, and trauma and sorrow. But I promise you, you are not alone like I have felt my entire life. I'm here for you even if you don't know me.